Alrighty tubers, we're going to get back on the van here for a little bit. See if we can't get it working, fixed, and on the road again. See, let's go to autofocus here. There we go, a little more in focus. So, where we left off was in the parking lot of AutoZone many months ago. I'll put a link in the description, or a card. If I forget the card or the link, please let me know. I'll make sure to get it in there. What's going on with the van is the transmission causes a ton of bubbles. It's not overheating. It happens with time, not distance traveled or with heat of the transmission. Once you put it in gear, drive it around, it drives, shifts, awesome, everything great. The transmission will start to whine because it's sucking in tons of air from somewhere, and it starts to aerate the fuel to the point, not aerate the fuel, the fluid, aerates the fluid to the point where it won't shift or do anything anymore because, well, transmission fluid's full of air. These transmissions work off of pressure, if I remember right. Possibly a little bit of electronics, but mostly pressure. Well, you can't get pressure out of aerated fluid because air compresses, fluid does not. If the air is going to compress, it's not going to send the right signal to the other parts of the transmission. It's going to stop shifting. I've talked to a transmission shop recently. I was ready to just take it in and get it fixed, or have him take a look at it. I told him what was going on, and he asked if I had done a service on the transmission. I've done a drain and fill on this transmission, but I never changed the filter. He urged me to change the filter first before taking it to him. He said that it could be as simple as a cracked filter, plugged filter, multiple other things. So went ahead and bought a new Wix filter for the transmission and a gallon of transmission fluid. Hopefully it's enough. So we're going to go ahead and get that new filter put on and take it for a spin and see if that fixed it. Alright, so I'm going to need to access the transmission. The transmission itself is behind the front wheels, obviously, but it's back further, and to get to it I'm going to have to slide the van forwards quite a ways to just make it a little easier to access. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. That's kind of the part that's frustrating. Still starts, runs, drives perfectly. It's just after a couple of minutes it aerates that fluid. So let's go ahead and drop the fluid out of that transmission and get to changing that filter. There's a 14 millimeter for the drain plug. There we go. That's draining now. Fluid's really not that dirty. Smells okay. I did do a drain and fill on this once. Well, the first time I drained it, it was not pretty. But it ran and drove perfectly fine. I could see maybe some of that material that I found the first time still being up in that filter somewhere. Let's go ahead and open up the new filter box here. Got a Wix 598 or 58946. See what comes in here. There's one half the filter. Oh, that is the filter. There's the new gasket for it to bolt it in place. Hopefully you guys are focused in there. My camera's a little funny on the focusing, but so this gasket could be torn somewhere, sucking in air, possibly. I have no clue. It could be a filter issue. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm hoping to find this filter screen really plugged, or a torn gasket. It's got a rubber style pan gasket, which these usually are not the best. There's much better out there. If I had silicone on hand, I'd actually rather use silicone, because with the rubber style gaskets you will get leaks. Not can, will. I already knew that, and the guy, that transmission guy I was talking to, told me the same thing. If you've got the option to, make sure to use the paper style that almost looks like it's made out of like a cereal box or a beer box, or use silicone, to not use the rubber style because they leak. But we're going to be using the rubber style this time because I really don't have anything else. So let's go ahead and wait for that to drain all the way, and then we'll get back under there and start removing the pan. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start breaking all these nuts and bolts loose. Again, it's going to be fun to get in here. At least I have the lift kit on here. That makes it a lot easier to get under here. That lift kit really wasn't hard to do either. If you guys would like to see that video, you can find it in a link in the description. I put a 2-inch lift on this 2-wheel drive Toyota van wagon. Oh, there's one more on the corner over there I can feel. There it is. Alright. See the filter there? I'm going to take a closer look at this drain pan here. Looks like it's done dripping for the most part. Just as I say that, and there's like 7 more drips that start. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out, drain this, and stick it back. It's got a cork style gasket on it. It's already been torn on one spot. See if we can gently pry this guy off without having to do any scraping. It won't come up in one spot, go to a different spot. Really need to get a wide angle or fisheye lens for this camera that I'm using. Make it a little easier. This is the back side that was tighter and it doesn't want to come off. Front side though, I bet you'll come right off. Yep. Coming up pretty easy. Yep. I have to do a little bit of scraping. Like I said, we'll just use that rubber gasket just because that's what we have on hand today. Alright, let's go ahead. This, the magnets. Got 2 little magnets in this transmission. Well, it looks like it was originally all one magnet, but it's been broken. And it's normal wear. No crazy chunks of any sort, which is really good. Very promising. I'm really sorry if you can't see much. Like I said, I need to get a wide angle for this camera. But everything looks okay. There's no big giant chunks. And this magnet is broken in two. Anyways, no chunks, good to go. I'll clean that up later. I've got a parts washer. I'll clean that up in. So let's go ahead and get in there and get the filter out. I'm not going to be able to really show you guys much. I might stick my phone in there on wide angle so you can see what I'm doing. If there's enough light. If there's not enough light, I won't worry about it. But let's get in there and get that done. There's one bolt that I'm seeing here, and I'm also keeping in mind how tight these are. And I'm seeing one bolt there that looks like it's going to be really fun to get to. And when I say fun, I'm using all the sarcasm in the world. There's definitely some sludge right there. Right here. I thought I brought the new filter in here with me, but let's see if I can find it by hand. Not finding anything yet. I thought I brought the new filter down here. I want to look at it and see what nuts and bolts I need to take off. Or bolts, rather, just bolts. I just remembered I bought a oil mat for drippage. I didn't use it. Where's the new filter? Oh, I did bring it under there with me. Yep, I bought an oil mat for this job, so I didn't drip oil everywhere. Then proceeded to immediately forget and not even use it. Well, I got, like I said, got some protectant on the trailer now. Alright. Well, that'll stop dripping onto the trailer. It is really fun to try to fit underneath here. A whole bunch more fluid. So I'm bolting that. Tons more fluids coming out. And a whole bunch of slime. I just had like a whole bunch of garbage come out of there. I don't know if you saw that or not. I'll let that drain for a minute. There's a metal tab that was being held on with that one. So that's on that corner on this side. There's a metal tab. Alright. We're not going to look at the old filter just yet. We're just going to get the new filter on there. Because it's just going to be easier that way. Okay. This guy sits like so. I'm going to pick the other bolt hole here. And get this guy started. Journey back into the transmission. Sorry for all the old man noises. Just gotta make them sometimes. Why are you suddenly leaking so much fluid? Quit it. Gonna go clean that oil pan up. Get the oil pan back on. Stop dripping! Quit it! Yeah, let's go clean that oil pan up. If I can get out of here. Alright. That oil pan looks almost new now. It is nice and clean. It's ready to go back in. So let's go ahead and throw the less desired rubber gasket on there. However it goes on, I'll figure that out. Let's get that underneath and get it all bolted up and fill it full of fluid again. Alright, so we're going to get some fluid in this guy now. That oil pan that I'm using does have a table in which to show how much fluid came out. It was just shy of 5 quarts, probably about 4.5 or 4 3/4. I've got 1 gallon of ATF here. I just got some Walmart stuff for right now. I'm not going to put really good fluid in it until I know everything's okay. And even then, I might just run this fluid. There's no use in changing it. A lot of cheaper fluids are just fine, especially on these older transmissions. The older transmissions were not picky at all. Just gonna fill real slow. Just stop when I have about 1 quart left in this. Start it, run it, and check it again. This is going to take some time. Alright. Yeah, it says Dexron 2 on the dipstick. So, we're full enough where I'm going to go ahead and start it. Put it neutral and let the fluid cycle and see what we get. Obviously, I mean, the transmission is going to work, but it's going to take some time and see if it gets a whole bunch of air in the system again. Well, you know what it sounded like before the repair. Don't mind the little bit of exhaust rattle, but it is running perfectly now, shifting perfectly. Transmission's working great. I've been driving it for a week with no issues at all. I think we got this thing licked, guys. I'm happy to have the spaceship back in the fleet, back running again. But we got insurance on it again, and got squeaky suspension there. But I think it's time to detail this thing. I'm gonna clean it up, get it all clean, love to take it down to a professional detailer. I got a guy that does some of my detailing, and he does an excellent job, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that on this one. I would love to, but I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, we got this thing running and driving awesome now. Gotta figure out where that squeak is coming from. There's a squeak coming from the rear end. Or not the rear end, like I think it's coming from the slider door. For those of you who are wondering, yes, this is the model with the ice maker in it. It's like a mini refrigerator slash freezer. That needs to be cleaned out too. No whining noises at all. No leaks from that rubber gasket. Not yet anyways. It's good to have it running again. Really is good to have it running again. Fun little spaceship. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. There'll be some more videos to come on this thing. Seems to be picking up some traction on YouTube. A couple guys are fans of it, so I'll have to make some more videos on it. Still really like that lift that I put on it, 2 inches. On a separate video, I ended up cutting the fenders, or the inner fenders, just a little bit. There's a point of the fender right here that sticks out like that, and I just trimmed it back, and it doesn't even look like I trimmed anything, especially from the outside. I had to do it on both sides. One side I had to trim just a little bit more than the other. Yeah, this side I had to trim just a little more. All sorts of mud flung up in there right now. Well, I think that'll be it for now. I wish I could repair all this. Got a little leak in the corner of the window right there. There's a hole. It's another thing I got to repair. These windows are actually obsolete now. You cannot buy them anymore. Thankfully this one's in good shape, but I'll have to make sure to keep it in good shape. I've heard stories of guys needing a window for their van and buying a whole van just for the window. Love to repaint that strip too. That strip's supposed to be black. All in due time, but for now I'm gonna just enjoy it, use it as a bit of a winter vehicle. Got the nice winter tires on it, so like I said, again, hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to see anything specific, any how-tos, just let me know. I'll definitely be making more. See you, tubers. Bye.